By Aaron Saxon Associates.
Now at 10, a verdict in the trial of an Independence, Missouri man charged with double murder. Plus, KCU Joplin welcomes students from a new master's program the school says it desperately needs. And Missouri Southern approves a new master's program for social workers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An Independence, Missouri man is found guilty of multiple charges, including double murder. This is KOAM News. I'm Blake Gully. Today, a jury in Cherokee County, Kansas, found this man, Kyle Lynn Butts, guilty of all charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of interference with law enforcement. The conviction stems from an incident back in November of 2022. Baxter Springs authorities responded to reports of a shooting in the 2400th block of Lincoln. When officers arrived on scene, they attempted life-saving measures for 3 individuals suffering from gunshot wounds. Jeremy Murphy of Anderson, Missouri, and Craig Gunn of Pineville, Missouri, died at the scene. The third man, Seth Gunn, also of Pineville, was taken to an area hospital in critical condition. Both prosecution and defense presented closing arguments today. The defense argued the murder was not premeditated and was out of self-defense. The prosecution argues Butts, quote, selected and targeted and shot them with intention of ending their lives. Today, the jury returned its guilty verdict after approximately 5 hours of deliberation. Butts faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison with no possibility of parole for 50 years on the murder convictions. The sentencing date has been scheduled for March 9th. Authorities need your help identifying 2 people who caused thousands of dollars in damage to the Jasper County Court building on South Pearl Street in Joplin. The suspects crashed electric scooters into the building's pillars on December 16th. The suspect's vehicle was spotted at the Liberty parking garage at 6th and Wall. If you recognize these individuals, contact the Jasper County Sheriff's Office. Meteorologist Austin Stans joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. So today we saw temperatures 54 degrees. It was cooler, but notice still 10 degrees above average. Record high 67 degrees for today. Finally saw some precipitation here in January, but we could still use some more. Heading into the overnight, not going to get too much. Maybe a light shower is possible, but it's mainly going to stay off to the north of I-44. Could see one of these showers extend just south of 44, and the potential of maybe a light wintry mix late overnight to 3 a.m. possible. But then we're going to start to see that cold front pass through. Temperature is going to be falling into the low 30s headed into the overnight. Winds also going to be picking up, could gust anywhere 25 to 30 miles per hour as that front passes, leading to a breezy Saturday. Coming up, we'll get a look at your full weekend forecast.
The Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce hosts a legislative send-off at the Alumni Center today. Community members gathered to hear priorities from elected officials as the Kansas legislative session approaches. The chamber says it will continue its support for state funding for Pittsburgh State University and for transportation projects throughout southeast Kansas. Lawmakers share their focus areas for the upcoming session.
I don't think there'll be great changes. I really do. We'll do what we can. We'll help hospitals. We'll help nursing homes. We'll help, daycare people. But that's a form of health care, and like I say, we will do that kind of thing.
Lawmakers plan to support hospitals, nursing homes, and daycare facilities. Despite growth, high poverty levels remain a concern for the region, and creating private sector jobs continues a top priority for Southeast Kansas. Missouri lawmakers are back at the Capitol as the new legislative session gets underway. And one of the biggest issues already drawing attention is the future of the state income tax. Governor Mike Kehoe is backing a plan that would eventually phase out Missouri's personal income tax altogether. Supporters argue the move could attract businesses and boost economic growth, while critics warn it could significantly reduce state revenue and impact funding for schools, infrastructure, and public services. Lawmakers are expected to debate the proposal in the coming weeks ahead. Diamond voters will decide whether their school district keeps its 4-day-a-week schedule. The question appears on the April 7th ballot because of a new Missouri law. It requires districts to hold a vote if part of the district sits within a city of 30,000 or more people. Part of Diamond RIV falls within Joplin city limits. A yes vote would continue the 4-day-a-week schedule for the next 10 years. The measure needs a simple majority to pass. According to the Missouri Secretary of State's website, voter registration deadline is March 11th to participate in the April election. Kansas City University's Joplin campus is officially welcoming its first class of anesthesiologist assistants, a program school leaders say is desperately needed. The new master's program was created to help address growing shortages of anesthesia care providers in the hospital and surgical centers across the region in the country. The program launched after local health partners, including Freeman Health System and Mercy, identified anesthesia support as a critical need.
Significant shortages of anesthesia care providers, and with limits on anesthesia care providers, whether we're talking about anesthesiologists, nurse anesthetists, or anesthesiologist assistants, it limits the ability for hospitals and outpatient facilities to provide.
The inaugural class includes 24 students selected from more than 800 applicants. They'll complete 27 months of training before entering the field. Missouri Southern announces an expanded graduate education today. The Board of Governors approved a new Master's of Social Work program proposal. The program will specialize in integrative healthcare, social work for regional students with Freeman Health Systems, offering to fully fund the program's first 5 years.
We also don't attract a lot of newly graduated talent into the region. It's a hard recruit area. Building a program like this will allow for us to train locally, hopefully retain locally, and attract new students into the market that otherwise wouldn't come.
The university must still secure approval from the Council for Social Work Education before the program can kick off. The role of AI on everyday life coming up. This year's Consumer Electronics Shows puts the spotlight on household tech. But up first, new cell phone footage shows the moments leading up to an ICE-involved shooting in Minnesota.
Kansas Crossing Casino welcomes at Wesco Home Furnishings.
Newly obtained cell phone video taken by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent involved in the fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good in Minnesota shows a different angle of the encounter in the moments leading up to Wednesday's shooting. Aaron Hazanzadeh has the story.
Newly released cell phone video obtained by CBS News appears to show the ICE agent's point of view and what are likely Renee Good's last words.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
That's Good inside the SUV and her wife outside the vehicle talking to the ICE officer before the shooting.
Go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead. Out of the car.
Another officer orders Good out of the SUV and she starts to drive. On Friday, Minnesota prosecutor Mary Moriarty asked the public for any video or other evidence in the fatal shooting.
We are concerned that the evidence obtained in an investigation that has only been conducted at the federal level will not be shared with our office for review.
CBS News has confirmed the agent who shot Good is Jonathan Ross, who has worked with ICE in Minnesota for nearly a decade and was involved in another vehicle-related incident last June. Court documents show he was dragged approximately 100 yards with his arm inside a car while trying to execute an immigration warrant. ICE out! As the investigation continues, protests and vigils for Good were held across the region. Community and faith leaders gathered at the Minnesota State Capitol.
We deserve to feel safe. This is not a political statement. That is a basic human right.
Students attending Minneapolis public schools were not in class Friday, and the school district is now offering families remote learning through mid-February.
We keep us safe, ICE out of our schools, ICE out of Minneapolis, ICE out of Minnesota.
A memorial of flowers and candles continues to grow at the scene of Good's death. Erin Hassanzadeh, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Austin returns next with a complete look at your forecast.
Ring in the savings at Ashley's New.
Well, it definitely was a fairly pleasant Friday. A little bit cooler out there. We saw some clouds early, then it cleared up. Some clouds are going to begin to move in heading into this evening and overnight. We got a weak upper level disturbance that's going to swing off to our north. The southern edge of that could bring us a scattered shower, mainly going to stay north of 44 here, but it is possible one or two of these could stretch just south of 44. Now, the opportunity to see a light wintry mix, it's fairly low, but we can't completely rule it out, especially as we head into the later overnight hours when temperatures start falling near that freezing level. We will see a cold front begin to pass. Temperatures going to fall. Now, I want to say none of this is going to affect any of your weekend plans or travel impacts out there. By the time you wake up tomorrow, most of the ground's going to be dry. You might not even notice that it's showered. Now, heading into the overnight as well, wind's going to pick up a little bit, around 20-25 miles per hour gusting. Going to be a little bit breezy for your Saturday. Overnight temperatures falling to around 33 degrees. Can't rule out that slight chance of a wintry mix overnight. That's because we're still seeing some moisture in the air. These are dew points. Typically, when we talk about dew points in showers, we're looking for anywhere 55 to 60, but with cold air, that's a bit of a different story. If you think of the air as sponges, you have cold air, which is a small sponge, warm air, which is a large sponge. With a cold air sponge, that means that it would take less time to fill with water, right? Because it's a smaller sponge. Well, that concept applies here as well, and relative humidity tells us how full that sponge is. So as we head into the overnight hours, nearing 90% here, that's where most of that moisture is. And because it's cold air, that smaller sponge fills with moisture quickly. So cold air can actually fill with moisture faster, allowing for some showers a little bit easier, even with less dew points out there. So that's why we're seeing those showers off to our north of 44 this evening and overnight. Tomorrow, 48 degrees, skies clearing, going to be a little bit breezy out there. Your weekend looking good. 42 on Sunday, sunny. It is going to be a little bit chilly, but weekend plans, get out there, enjoy it. Just have a light jacket on. You can definitely still enjoy some weekend festivities. Heading into next week, we're going to go into a slight ridge here, especially as we see our flow out of the northwest. But we're going to have a weak system move through that could bring the potential of a light shower Tuesday into Wednesday. That changes our flow, though, out of the north. That's going to bring in some cooler temperatures. So let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. We're back into the 50s Monday and Tuesday. Here's that weak system that begins to blow in here on Tuesday, 59 degrees. Temperatures start falling Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Heading into late next week, we have the potential to see maybe a snowflake or two out there. A snow shower can't be completely ruled out looking at our extended 10-day forecast.
One of the world's largest technology trade shows is underway this week in Las Vegas. Evan Moon has the details.
Getting ready to head out. Whether in the living room,
open the door,
the kitchen, the bedroom, or the laundry room, and all the spaces in between, AI is making itself right at home.
This year, it's very much about AI.
This week in Las Vegas, thousands of tech companies from around the world are showcasing new products, and it's no surprise, the focus is the future of AI living.
So who is buying AI in 2026? Last year, we saw a lot of early adopters, but looking at the numbers right now, half of all of the products that we're selling at Samsung have AI-enabled features.
LG Electronics even debuted a live-in robot trained for chores, like your laundry.
This has been the holy grail for a long time. We've talked about smart appliances for a decade now, and they're becoming smarter and smarter. This is really a sneak peek at what's coming in the future.
It's part of a trend experts call affectionate intelligence, like having an AI pet.
She can rest comfortably on a person's lap for hours at a time, and we may create a walking dog in the future.
Even something as simple as a side table can come to life. Technology expert Jonathan Rubini says it's all about integration.
Your whole home is going to work around you. You're not going out there and looking for your Alexa or looking for your different texts and to talk to each other. The whole goal of AI is to make it seamless.
Something consumers at CES are buying into.
I've spent all of yesterday upgrading my smart home, my lights, so I'd like to add other things like that, smart home technology.
Updates making high tech feel less like a tool and more like a companion. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Some of these products are already for sale, but others are not yet available to consumers in the U.S. Still ahead, high school basketball is back with a busy Friday night of hoops in Kansas. Those highlights coming up. Plus, it's day 2 of the Kaminsky Classic with local squads taking the court. Highlights from Joplin next.
The area's favorite premier gaming destination.
Basketball season is back in full swing here in 2026, and we have a loaded slate with league doubleheader matchups in Kansas and day 2 of the Kaminsky Classic in Joplin. The hosting Eagles tipping off the day against William Chrisman. First quarter, Joplin in transition, kicking it to Brecken Green, who flies down the lane and slams it home for the dunk. Eagles making an early statement. A couple possessions later, it's TJ Willis driving and kicking it to the open man in the corner, David Bend, who drains the triple to extend the lead. Later in the first, off an offensive rebound from Tucker Martin, Willis goes to work on the drive, splitting defenders and connecting on this floater. He finished with 14 points in this one. Joplin back in transition here. Martin on the run, stutter stepping and cruising through the lane for the finger roll layup. Eagles dominate on their home court, winning 73-45. The Webb City Cardinals looking to bounce back, battling Poplar Bluff. Early first quarter, Cardinals facing full court pressure. Trey Turner swings it to Mason Young, who drives to the lane, shot fakes and scores to give Webb City the early lead. The Cardinals defense was active in this one. Turner with the steal off the inbounds, going coast to coast, finishing at the rim with the right-hand finger roll finish. But Webb City's defense wasn't done there. Young picks Toby Duncan's pocket and scores the transition layup. Still in the first quarter, Turner on the run. He's going to dish it to his man, Jackson Adams. Adams is going to drive, stop, and pop mid-range jumper from around the elbow. Connects. Cardinals set up a date with Joplin tomorrow, defeating the Mules 51-46. Moving to Kansas, Chanute back at home to host the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. Early on, Sophia Hertrich in transition, tossing it down court to Odessa Reed, who hauls in the pass and scores the fast break layup. A couple possessions later, it's Mackenzie English on the attack, kicking it to Ona Jorge, who drives to the lane and connects on the floater over a pair of defenders. Pittsburgh looking for more, and they will get it. It's Adley Gober getting an open look from 3, and her attempt is nothing but net. Dragons on fire to start with a 12-0 run. But the Comets aren't going down without a fight. It's Kate Uner with the drive and dish to Grace Lubering, and she drains the jumper, but Pittsburgh picks up the win 45-32. The Pittsburgh boys squad looking to make it a sweep in the nightcap. And the Dragons boys squad also starting off hot. Kata Navaratnam passes it to Landon Jesse, who drains the corner 3, and Pittsburgh is out to the early lead. But the Blue Comets fight right back. It's Kobe Patterson dribbling towards the basket, and his stop and pop fadeaway jumper is nothing but net to get Chanute on the board. Dragons looking to stay hot from downtown. This time it's Navaratnam pulling from deep himself, and his 3-ball attempt is good. And we have a 3-point contest brewing in Chanute. Blue Comets looking to respond, swinging it around, and they're going to get to their man in the corner, Warwick Olson, who creates an open look from 3, knocking down the tray, but the Dragons prevail in overtime over the Comets 52-50. In Galena, the Bulldogs welcoming in the Raiders of Frontenac for a doubleheader. Galena trailing in the first. Madison Boyce with the steal, leading to this easy bucket as the Bulldogs get on the board. But the Raiders' defense was also stepping up and making plays. Here it's Reese Franklin intercepting this pass for a fast break layup, and Frontenac is off and running with a 12-2 run to start. And Franklin, she wasn't done there, taking away another Galena pass, cruising down the court for another basket, and the Raiders are in complete control early on. Final seconds of the first quarter, though. Andy Stout looking for a girl to pass to, finds Stevie Likely, firing from downtown before the buzzer, and it's good. Frontenac wins big on the road, 72-24, the final. The Bulldogs boys squad looking to snap a 2-game skid against the Raiders. Chase Cottrell leading the offense for Galena here, finding an open Jet Giesel, who fires from beyond the arc, cashing the 3 for an early lead. But here comes Frontenac, working the ball inside to Jake Wegner, who spins and gets this floater to go over the defender. Raiders are on the board. And Wegner was just getting started in this one. Frontenac going back to the big man down low, and he will fight through the defense, kissing it off the glass for the bucket. Bulldogs in transition, looking for a response, and this pass is tipped, but Isaiah Farfan is in the right place at the right time, collecting the loose ball for the layup. Frontenac, though, completes the sweep of Galena, winning 48-41 in the finale. That's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
This January, Saturdays are heating up at Downstrow.
Well, the weekend is looking nice. 48 degrees Saturday, a little breezy, cooler on Sunday, but plenty of sunshine out there to get out there and enjoy the weekend. Heading into next week, we're back in the 50s before a cold front passes and temperatures are on their way back down. Potential to see a flurry or two late next week, keeping an eye on that system.
The Carthage Junior High School set the table for success today for more than 600 students. As a reward for meeting academic goals, 683 students got to enjoy some pancakes. Those goals reflect the students' hard work hitting grade level or growth targets. Staff at the school say they couldn't wait to sink their teeth into some tasty treats.
So I actually got this idea. I had to steal it from Dr. Butler, who is in Branson actually. We did it in the Branson Junior High, and I thought it was a great idea. Kids loved it, so I wanted to bring it to Carthage as well, and so far it's been a big hit.
The fire department cooked 1,600 pancakes for the students. And Ryan with a sports update.
Yeah, the college football championship is set. Indiana defeating Oregon. They will be facing Miami. Have to shout out my twin brother, Indiana alum, so he's probably going crazy. Hopefully they can win it for him because I know his basketball team isn't doing too hot, but some good sports going on.
That's great. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's make it a great evening.